Bert, the final GMA this morning?
Yep.
Must be particularly sad for you being the star of the show.
Oh, I'm not the star of GMA.
Who is?
Well, I can tell you who isn't. No, you know, this show over the last 14 years has made something like $250 million for the network. There's only one star of GMA. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's see how you feel after you see the show. Well, it's come to this, eh? No reprieve. We're not back on Monday. This is the last... I'll tell you when to sit... You may now sit down. There you go. We've broken the rule this morning. The ugly ones are in the front row. That's okay. This is, well, as you can imagine, for everybody who works on the show, and I don't want this to become this morning a bird-only thing, because this has been the best team show that I've ever worked on in terms of crew, behind the scenes. So whatever the emotions are this morning, they're shared. It's not just about me. It's about a terrific show which happened to become a dream come true for me, because it's been one of the best journeys I've made in television over the last 14 years. And you can't say this too often, but regardless of any emotions that I might feel this morning, I don't think I'd change too much of what's happened in the last 14 years, because, as I say, it's been a journey with some terrific people. I've had a lot of fun. I've met people that I wouldn't have had the chance of meeting before, Belvedere, a whole range of people. And also, if I can just indulge myself for a couple of secs, there's a bit of history about the show. I mean, for a start, much has been made of the fact that today is the last show. It's also show 3,213, which is a hell of a lot of television. I think especially when you consider for most of its life it was 2.5 hours a day, and we haven't even included the summer series. That would be, I guess, another 2,000 shows, so it's quite an effort. Some highlights. Well, I just thought you might like to be told some of the interesting facts. Number of guests on the show, 23,738, which is a hell of a lot. Number of books on the show, 3,217. And that was only last week. The number of singers on the show, 6,400, or 6,401 if you include Izzy Dye. The longest answer to a single question happened on I'm smiling because I know what I'm going to say. On the 23rd of May 1997, and this is legit, it went for 23 minutes and 57 seconds. Henry Zepps was the man in question. The shortest question ever asked, same date, will you shut up, Henry? The most repeated line over 14 years, well, actually, this is a dead heat between here's Moira and would you like a piece of my hair? The number of viewer calls in 14 years, 2,764. An extra 500 if you include Kamal's calls about not being on the show. The most jewellery won by a guest, well, worn by a guest. This was a runaway, of course, for Jade Hurley on the 23rd of July 1997. Would you believe 3 diamond rings, 2 gold bands and 4 bracelets, and quite a few on the other hand too, which was great. The biggest mysteries of GMO, I don't need notes for these because they're the things that people talk about all the time. The relationship between Belvedere and Jeannie Little. Secondly, the relationship between Belvedere and Jeannie's husband. Also, and this was one just quite recently, the mystery of the rumour of Moira's breast implants. But I said that could not be just a rumour and nothing else. It was then pointed out that maybe Maria Venuti was the person in question. Well, of course, I immediately said there's not enough silicone in the whole world for that. And speaking of Maria Venuti and the aforementioned Belvedere and Jeannie Little, I see so many of my friends in the audience this morning, many of whom date back before Good Morning Australia, but also a great number whom I've made over the last 14 years. And that's one of those pleasures I was talking about before. That is the sort of stuff that money can't buy, and I really appreciate that. I suppose for a lot of younger viewers, they'll believe the show started here. It didn't. And it didn't start under the name of Good Morning Australia. It started under the name of The Morning Show, and it began in January 1992 away from the South Yarra studios back in Nunawading, the old Channel 10 studios over there. And here's some footage of the very first show.
Happy thousand show, my darling.
Oh,
You made me happy sometimes. You made me sad.
he's never been to France in his life, but he does a lovely accent. It's good to have the three of you here. Cut the cake. There you go.
Still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a crucible.
And I said a top guest, not Rob guest. What stuff. I want to thank the various magazine publishers around Australia. It's been terrific to get their support, and we really do appreciate, particularly the Bulletin, which is a pretty hard one to crack. Good housekeeping. Ah, yes. And we have spared no expense. Have a look at that.
I have much pleasure
Yes.
in declaring open the 3000th show.
Be very careful of them, Rove, won't you?
Thursday is your caution day.
Let's see how good you are. Good times. You know, there's nothing like sitting back and watching gags die again in replay. Let's have a good time today because we've had a good time for 14 years. Let's try and give you a show that you'll remember, a show that you'll enjoy. And after this break, the whole bang thing continues. We're back with you then.
I first went on Bert's show 14 years ago, and I thought he won't last long.
Goodbye, Bert. Thank you for a wonderful 14 years. I feel like we're breaking up or something.
You are absolute royalty, sir, with the greatest of respect.
And anyone coming up should learn if they want to stay in this game, they better be as good as he is.
I wish you good luck in your last hurrah here at Channel 10. Hurrah.
I hope you had the time of your life.
So put the lid like that.
Yeah.
Cut the excess panettone.
Yeah.
Cover it with plastic wrap.
Yeah.
And do that the day before because it will set better.
Yeah.
And here we have got some.
Oh, look at that.
We did yesterday.
Oh, beautiful.
Now Bert. So with plenty of berries.
A little bit of dandruff. You probably heard that on the shopping centre.
This is a white Christmas. Look at that.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
That is just lovely.
Can I give you a card?
Certainly.
Say thank you for all the beautiful things.
Yeah.
And
Oh, look at this. That's
it
lovely.
says, go ahead, leave.
Yeah. What does it say? Dear
We'll
Bert,
be
read it for
fine.
me. I haven't got my glasses on me.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. It has been great working with you for so long. Merci and best wishes to you and your family.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
I appreciate that. You can tell us the last show last year was Dom Perignon. Anyway, not too I'll tell you the one thing I didn't mention. We've had 26,000 advertorials over the time when I've said here's Susie and here's Karen and here's Moira and here's Robin, an early one, here's Ed, here's Shannon, and here, of course, is the beautiful Marianne. The reason I said beautiful there was she was waving the thing, don't forget me, don't forget me. So 26,000 of them, and I'll bet you've counted them. I did suggest that maybe on the first, the fact that today is the last show. On the first show, we didn't have an advertorial. I thought, wouldn't it be nice to drop the advertorials and just do sheer entertainment? Yes. And when I told the management that, I think that's when they decided the show was ready to finish. If I'm coming up with ideas such as that. So here is the aforementioned Moira.
You look down at your midsection and don't see a nice trim-looking set of abs, then you'll want to stay watching because Tom joins us today from Global Shop Direct to talk abs, abs and more abs. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Maura. That's right.
And here are some memories from a regular segment on GMA, which has been very important to us, the cooking segment.
Because we can! Yes, we can!
I'm being rushed. OK, so there you go. Mashed potato
Who's rushing you? No one's rushing you.
Oh, I'm seeing the signs go up all over the place.
No. But the sign just says don't eat it, Bert.
Well, get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Yeah, get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans.
I can't wait to eat this. It's Thai green curry.
Elizabeth, you're not going to Channel 9 just getting your own back here, eh?
Bert, do you want to grab those anchovies there?
No.
All right.
It's just put a little bit spray.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, do you want to put them in?
Yeah, sure.
Olives.
Salty, sweet.
On a steady flame.
We've got some fresh ricotta here.
A little bit of garlic. Most people will say that's now not cooked.
Tomato juice with some self-raising flour.
Oh, right. What are you calling it?
It's a Vietnamese coleslaw. Now, I've forgotten what I put in now.
Well, show me.
Not done.
Not done? Do you like honest television?
Absolutely, I love honest television.
I couldn't give a stuff about what you were doing. Are you sure, Elizabeth, you wouldn't prefer to have a meat pie? And there you see one of our newer members to the team too, Axel Whitehead, who has made a terrific contribution in the last year or so. I thank you for that, Axel. You've got a big future, you've got a huge career ahead of you, and I'm just so pleased to have been part of it for this short time. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you so much.
And thanks again to our chefs. Toby Puppy. Thanks, Bert. Elizabeth Chong. Mr. Ian Hewitson and Gabrielle. Thank you, folks. It's been a lot of fun. Now on GMA, here's the beautiful Marianne. Our three music directors, and I should include also Alan Zavod, who was deputy for some time on the show. He can't make it today, unfortunately, but we do have with us John Foreman, who started the whole thing. We have Mr. Nolan Bradbury, who took the reins on many occasions, and then last but not least, Mr. Mark Amato. Mr. Foreman. I know how busy you are. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Bert.
How's everything going in prime time?
I'll pray if you call midnight prime time. You know, it's going well.
But
Bert.
I've heard great reports about the show. I've got them all on tape. I haven't seen them yet because I've had other things to worry about. Is there anything that I should concern myself with? Are you really good?
Oh, look, Bert, I'm doing my best, but no, you are like most people have not seen the show. But it's on tonight at midnight, Bert.
Midnight tonight.
Midnight tonight.
And how's my material sounding?
Oh, going really well.
Nolan, you've got your Christmas album out, which I would like to plug,
Yes,
because
of
you're one
course.
of those few musos that you don't really ask for plugs. We have to find out what you're doing. How's... OK, a little bit of roses. This is the theme from Prisoner. They used to play the music right here on GMA. And then they said they're sacking me because I've had my day.
Thank you, guys.
It's only a personal observation, but I think you were nothing without Deborah Conway. Told that was just the most magnificent piece of television. You played acoustically with Deborah?
Well, yeah, look, whenever we can, we try to get people out of their comfort zone, and we did a little piano and guitar acoustic thing with Deborah, and she was absolutely fantastic, Bert.
Come on, John. Thank you, Nolan, and thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Bert.
John invited me to be on his show. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it, but I hope it happens one day that I can be there.
We would love to have
Thank you, mate. Money's shocking. Now, here's Shannon. I've been lucky on GMA. We've had many big-name guests over the years. I suppose one of the questions most asked is, you know, who was your favourite interview? Who was the biggest star? Who was the nicest person? Who was the crummiest person? And the whole deal. You just see there a collage of some of the biggest names in acting today and maybe yesterday too. But the thing that, as a compere, that gives me so much pleasure is that without a show in which I can do interviews, you have no chance of meeting these people. And I've got to say, almost without exception, they were all terrific to be on the show. I suppose if I had to nominate one real favourite, apart from locals like those beautiful girls, I think I would have to say Michael Caine, because he was so entertaining, stayed around afterwards, signed all the autographs, etc., etc. But probably it's wrong that I've chosen one, but there you go. It's not the first mistake I've made on Good Morning Australia. Next up on GMA, Karen Morgold is with us. I started out at the beginning of the show just mentioning that this is not a celebration for one person. It's a celebration for a show, 14 years old. Good Morning Australia. And as I also endeavoured to get through the message that you don't do it alone, I've been blessed with terrific regulars over the last 14 years, some of whom aren't with us today. They've either moved on or they weren't available, but you see here a core element of the people who've joined me here in the host set, and in the case of Jane Edmondson and other places in the garden and all sorts of various areas with Anne-Marie in the green room. But it's once again a case of looking back on my television career, and I can't think of a team that I've enjoyed more working with than the regulars on Good Morning Australia. They, in my opinion, were the show, and I thank them all. And here's Tripod. They did a great number a couple of weeks ago talking about GMA and the demise of same. It was done with fun, but also there was a lot of heart there too. So here are the boys, once again, to do their retrospective of Goodbye to GMA.
I'm sitting on the couch in my tracky bums. Today I'm gonna find a job, but how's it gonna be? A good morning now. When I stagger out of bed, how am I going to be greeted? With Moira selling me stuff I didn't know I needed. Where are the stars like Chubby Checker gonna go? How are the Tripod boys gonna plug their latest show? All over Australia, all the people wanna know. We're in mourning for Good Morning. Where will I see the latest stars of cabaret? Where are the hungover musicians gonna play? Who's gonna give us up to Gabriel Gatte? Who's the one who makes it hard for all the cooks when they come onto his show? Bert, 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 Bert. Speaking of great jokes, what about the guy at the center of it all? Everyone says that his head's big, but what they don't realize is that he's actually really tall. So lay off the guy. He's proportional, so proportional. Goodbye to Bert, goodbye to Patty, goodbye to Belvedere. Take your headset for the last time. All over
you, boys. Tripod there. Well, let me just ask you, if you doubt there's... If you doubt we haven't got magic on GMA, which other show could have someone like the beautiful Marianne van Dorsler introducing herself? Would you mind throwing to Marianne?
OK, well, here is Marianne doing her best. Today,
During that commercial break, you should have seen the jostling for position. Some have won and others haven't. Here you see some of the great singers that have appeared on GMA, but also Patty. You see also a lot of the crew, some of the people you don't necessarily see, they work behind the scenes. And I've mentioned already just how important they are to any show, but I emphasise again, particularly when you're doing 2 hours or 2.5 hours a day, because tempers can get frayed, as the audience have seen this morning in the breaks. But, you know, if they've got the right attitude, it makes it so much easier for the people who have to work on camera and produce a show. I'll say a few words just before the very end of the show, but I just thought it might be nice just to have in our minds and our memory too a nice bright number rather than some old dirge. And it's Dancing in the Streets, and here we are, all of us, to hope that mentally and emotionally you've been dancing in the streets in some sort of way as you've watched the show this morning, which is our last one. Go, guys! Mr. Mark Amato too, and the boys of the band there, we thank them. Thank you, Mark. Yeah! Keep it going, I haven't prepared anything. This is the moment now, I guess you don't look forward to it, of course you don't, when we do say goodbye to you on Good Morning Australia. I think I've emphasised already how important the 14 years have been for me and the team here at GMA, and I'll never forget them. Been a wonderful time for me, not only because I enjoyed hosting the show, but also I had the opportunity of helping out some young artists to get through. Theatre in Australia is ignored by a hell of a lot of the media, and it's pretty important if we want to have a healthy theatre in Australia. We've got to promote it and get people to buy tickets, because now the entertainment dollar is sought by so many venues. Also, of course, with the guests that we've talked about already and those wonderful regulars. I just mentioned to all my friends and the team here this party on this afternoon to say goodbye. I'm not going to it, but the reason I mention it now publicly is I'd hate someone to pick up and say that I didn't go to the party for any other reason except the one that I give you now, and that is simply I want, as I told the audience, I want my last memory of Good Morning Australia to be the show we've done this morning. I hope they have a terrific party. I hope they raise a glass for my health, but I hope, more importantly, that they know just how important they have been to me, and so has this show. In other words, we're talking friends here, aren't we? And if that's not a cue for a song, nothing is.
Keep smiling, keep shining.